This is CG Ruthless Sports. I will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video.
Yes, sir. We working. We about to get paid. No. He about to get paid.
What up, man? Damn, this damn intro screwed up. What is up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Coach Donte in the building. What's up, man?
How you doing, man? Thank you for inviting me on the show today. How you doing today?
Doing great, man. It is a great feeling, man. Except for the damn intro mix-up, man. But shout out to the BGN Sports Media. Keep up the grind, man. That's all that matters. But Coach Donte, man, how's it going, man?
It's going well. Everything been going well. Happy to talk some football. Happy football is back for another season, man. So I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, for sure, man. So what were you looking forward in those two preseason games with the Texans, man?
I was just looking forward to the guys, going out there and, competing. And I'm just looking forward to the coaching staff. It's a big, people say preseason really doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter in wins, but it matters about the coaching, evaluating the players to put on the 53-man roster who has a shot to make a practice squad. So preseason does matter to these players and the reps and stuff like that. So the last two games, I like the way this defense been forced to turnovers. The offense hasn't executed pretty much well throughout these first two preseason games, but the defense is really strong. The defense has 6 sacks versus the Los Angeles Rams in the first half. So in our defensive line, got very good depth. The safety, Jalen Petrie, is going to be a stud this coming league. We got him to replace Justin Reed. Derek Stingley had his debut out there. He looked at pretty much okay. He's just getting back in for it. And we still looking for our offensive lineman Kenyon Green to get back in the fold. He will be starting. He will be starting when he's healthy. And Christian Harris, our linebacker, hasn't really played yet. And we also got a few injuries on the team as well.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Derek Stingley, I've heard a lot of this hype from this LSU cornerback. He comes from an NFL bloodline, so he had his first debut against the Rams?
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of those clip tapes. He did pretty solid, but what was your performance by him so far?
This is his first game, so he's just getting acclimated into. He gave up a 22-yard slant in zone coverage. Everybody get confused in zone coverage. He had a good pass breakup in one-on-one coverage. He's more of a one-on-one coverage type of guy than a zone type of good person. So Derek Stingley he's going to be a generational talent. He's just coming off an injury. He had a foot injury that he just recovering from. So Lovie Smith trying to take his time and get him more acclimated into the game. But I think this guy's going to be a generational talent. I really like the way he's competing at practice with Brandon Cooks, a guy that's been in the league 8 years, had 1,000-yard seasons. So he's been very competitive at practice. And it's going to be a matter of time before you see the full potential of Derek Stingley. But he held his own pretty solid, but nothing special in that first preseason game. He's just getting back into the fold, but he's going to be ready by the time the season starts.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of exactly what everybody was expecting him to be. And then speaking of Jalen Petrie, that was like a lot of the 49ers' favorite prospect. Like when we were going to wait in the second round, who we were going to get. And there was a lot of these votes that Jalen Petrie was that next guy that everybody wanted. But you guys got him. And I thought he was a steal because of his versatility. He can play safety, the corner, the slot. He's exactly what you want in your defense. And you just said it. He's like a generation. You were saying Stingley was a generational talent. But what would you think of Jalen Petrie? Just a do-it-all type of defensive back guy or no?
Oh, I think I definitely agree with you 1,000%, man. He's a generational talent as well. Every time, it's not a play that Jalen Petrie is not around the football. You can use him in so many ways. You can use him to blitz. You can use zone coverage. And one of the knock for Jalen Petrie coming out of college is his coverage skill. Well, like I say, he's been doing a very good job of that in training camp. He can cover tight ends one-on-one, which is I did see Saturday when he covered the tight end Blanton one-on-one, and he did a very good job of it. But this guy, I like his leadership. He's talking at practice, communicating with guys on the field, and this guy is always at the football, every snap of the football. He's always there. He's always making himself available, and he's a big thumper. He can tackle too as well. So Jalen Petrie and Derek Stingley is going to be generational talents, but I love Jalen Petrie. He's starting to become a leader, and he's going to be better than Justin Reed. He's going to be definitely better than Justin Reed. He's going to be a superstar in this league because of his ability to play up on the line of scrimmage, tackling ability, and being able to cover his tight ends and play one-on-one coverage. You can do so many things with Jalen Petrie. This dude is a stud, and he's having a great, excellent camp. And he's already started day one. He's been named the starter day one already, so he's about ready to go.
That's what's up, man. And speaking of somebody we were just talking earlier, man, let's give a shout out to John Jay. He's in the comment section, so he's saying it's going to be a great show. Get your popcorn ready, man. I see that you guys are going to collab party the next day or so. That's going to be entertaining. But yeah, Jalen Petrie, man, that is an everything all dude. But then you guys drafted that one wide receiver from Alabama, which he's not going to play this year because he's battling, what is it, some kind of cancer. Leukemia, yeah. I thought he was an interesting pick at first, and then I didn't know about what he's dealing with at first. But then I thought, man, what a draft still. Hopefully he gets well, and hopefully he plays. But yeah, hey, here's somebody there. Your guy,
your guy. His channel. I'm part of him, man. We do film studies. My boy, shout out to my boy ECG's East Coast Gridiron, man. Same name like me, but a different letter with an A, not an O. But that's my boy. Shout out to ECG from always coming by and supporting as well.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to East Coast Gridiron. Seeing a little bit of your content here and there, but hey, keep it up, man. Oh yeah, definitely agree, man. We gotta hope that this kid recovers and all that stuff. But as far as like going into the offseason, man, which one player that caught you by surprise that just surprise you during this offseason that other teams need to watch out for the Texans?
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and you know what? I'm gonna go with Dameon Pierce, man. The running back out of Florida, third round pick. Like I say, he didn't play against the Rams, so that solidifies his spot. He's gonna either at best be number 2 or number 1, but he already got his spot up on the team. They was just trying to figure out, give other running backs like Marlon Mack, Rex Burkhead, and Darryl Gubawale, and Royce Freeman some time. But this guy is a really good. I'm really excited to see this guy, what he can do against number ones and against the Colts coming on opening NFL kickoff week. He's very strong, can run the football, man, got great vision, and he's an underrated pass catcher, and he's a very great blocker. So I'm excited to see Dameon Pierce. When he runs with force. He runs hard. He's hard to get down. He keeps the legs moving. And like I say, man, this guy's an underrated catcher up out of the backfield, and he can turn it up a notch. So I'm excited to see Dameon Pierce and how well he's going to play within this offense.
Yeah, that's going to be intriguing. Sometimes that one sleeper player can just catch the lead by surprise. But like when you look at the Niners players that comes to mind, like if you want to go deeper in the draft, Drake Jackson's pretty good. He became a draft pill, and he's exactly what I expected him to be, but he's going to be on the rotation. So what's your thoughts of checking out Drake Jackson? Did you look at his film a little here and there or not?
Yeah, well, like I say, Drake Jackson is an interesting guy at USC. I like that pick in Drake Jackson. I like that pick. I mean, he's a guy that can be disruptive, get to the quarterback. I was really high on Drake Jackson. I really thought he was like a third round pick to second round pick in that nonchalant right there. So I did a little scouting report on Drake Jackson. So Drake Jackson is very good, man. I really like that pick out of USC, man. That's a solid pick.
Oh, man. Like, from the looks of it, they did hype him as a first-round talent, but then he slides down. But a lot to do with the poor coaching at UFC. Then you look at the running back we just drafted from LSU. He's exactly as advertised. I didn't expect this guy to actually step up like this.
Yep. I mean, I like your guys' running back core, man. Like I say, I like Jeff Wilson. I mean, Elijah Mitchell was a stud, bro. 925 yards last year, 60 yards for a rookie, man. I really like Elijah Mitchell. Jeff Wilson, if he can stay healthy. Trey Sermon hasn't been able to stay healthy either. And one of the things that pretty much hurt you guys last year, the usage of Deebo Samuel pretty much was worn down by the NFC Championship game, took a beating, and most of that had to do with the running back core not being able to stay on the football field and receivers not being able to get open in coverage, and them doubling George Kittle when Deebo Samuel pretty much was in the backfield. So I really think for San Francisco, I really think if the running back core can stay healthy and Deebo Samuel can go back to wide receiver, it makes this Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle more and more interesting. It makes this offense more competitive and tough to stop in. You guys got one of the top offensive coordinator head coaches in the National Football League. And I don't think it's going to be a problem with Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to be fine. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to use him with his strengths is, and I think that's going to be a tough offensive stop, including y'all got that bad defense that y'all got over there in San Francisco.
Yeah, Trey Lance is going to be intriguing because a lot of people are still wondering, can he kind of take us where Jimmy couldn't take us? And that's still a question mark for a lot of us. But when you saw Trey play, man, what was your thoughts of it when you saw him play against the Houston Texans, man?
Like when I first saw him play, we was able to rattle him for a good little first half until Davis Mills threw that interception on a 4th and 1. I thought that was the game changer when we was up, I believe 7-0 or 7-3. It was one of those scores when I know it had to be a 4th and 1, and we had the football. And when Davis Mills threw that interception, or we got stopped on that 4th and 1, I believe. But basically, it was Davis Mills throwing the interception because we threw the ball on the 4th down and 1. When he throws that interception right there, I thought that's when the game turned around. I thought our defense was very good in the first half. I mean, we had San Francisco shut out for a whole first half. We had you guys shut out for a whole first half. You guys didn't score until late in the third quarter at that. And when Davis Mills threw that interception, that's when the whole game turned around. And we was able to get some hits on Trey Lance. We was able to force him out of the pocket a little bit. But we was able to make him sit in the pocket. We didn't let him hurt us with his legs. He made some throws here and there, but I thought we kind of rattled him for a whole first half until, Deebo Samuel happened. The running game started wearing the defense out, and because the offense couldn't stay on the field. So I think Trey Lance is going to be fine, man. I don't take that performance pretty much out the books, but I think Trey Lance is going to be fine with a full season due to he's seeing a lot of coverage. You guys, Kyle Shanahan is going to adjust and know how to use him in the right way. I think he's going to be fine. I think Trey Lance is going to be fine for it when I see him in Houston.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, so when you look at your guys' quarterback situation, is it just still convinced to go with Davis Mills? None of that wait for Jimmy to get cut or nothing like that?
You say what?
Like, do you guys feel very confident with Davis Mills? So this is no rumor stuff like, oh, we're just going to stick with him and we're not going to go with no other quarterback. But let's say, for example, Jimmy gets cut. Would you guys even take the offer to sign him on a cheaper deal?
I don't think Jimmy won't want to be a backup. I really don't think Jimmy want to be a backup, but Davis Mills, I got to evaluate him after this year. I'm not quite sure if he's the man for the job. He does show flashes. He does show a lot of flashes of what he can be, what he can become. He can make some good throws, like the throw against the Rams. That throw that he made to Philip Dorsett was a dime against the Rams. Yes, Philip Dorsett took a hit, but he shows a lot of potential. I mean, last year we had the worst offensive line in football. We had the worst running game in football. We had the defense forced in 25 turnovers. That was 9th in the National Football League. But with no offensive line, statistically going into that season last year, we had the worst wide receivers outside of Brandon Cooks. And for Davis Mills to come in after Tyrod Taylor, got hurt with that hamstring injury. Yes, he had a terrible first half, but Tyrod Taylor just was a shell of himself when he came back against the Miami Dolphins. Then he played for a whole half against the Jets, and David Culley finally pulled the plug and say, hey, we're going to just go with Davis Mills at this point. So he showed some flashes a lot, but to say he's the guy right now, I'm going to have to evaluate that after this year and just really say, I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy, but he does got a lot of potential. He does got flashes. He can make all the throws. And I think he's due to have a pretty solid season, but the jury is still out for me on Davis Mills. I need to see a full season of Davis Mills this year, being that very good quarterback that we saw last year. 16-10, not bad. 300 games, about 300-yard games already, and only played 11 games. I really like Davis Mills, man, but like I say, the jury's still out for me.
Yeah, like you said, like before, you were just looking at him as a backup and nothing more. But now that you want to see more of this guy, so you want to see if he's the answer. So this is the season for Davis Mills to be a full-time starter. So looking at the projection of what he can be, he's a mobile quarterback. He does throw the ball here and there, and it gives your receiving core a chance to work with this guy. Like, you got a speedster like Brandon Cooks. You got a few other wide receivers like Nico Collins and your tight end Jordan. I mean, there's some young, promising talent. Your running game's pretty decent. I mean, you got Mack and Pierce and those other guys, so it's got potential to do a lot better than last year, right?
Yep, it's got plenty of potential to do what it done last year. I mean, again, Davis Mills is mobile enough to move up out of the pocket and make throws. I mean, I seen it all last year. Statistically, you can argue he was the best rookie quarterback last year, but the only difference, he played less games than Matt Jones. And Matt Jones was brought up in a way better system than Davis Mills was. He was brought up in a way better system. Again, Davis Mills, for what he did last year with the team we had, we was pretty much worst on offense in every statistical category. But for him to be that accurate and to throw 16-10, and, light up some teams like the Patriots, the Rams, the Chargers. He lit up some big-time teams last year. But I think we definitely got the offensive talent to compete. I think if we win most of our games, we're going to have to win them on the defensive side of the football. We're going to have to win them on the defensive side of the football. We're not going to be good enough offensively to compete or go shoot score for score with other teams. We're going to have to just win games based on our defense this year. But Davis, we do got enough offensive firepower, but you got that all depending on if Nico Collins can become that big time target and take a lot of pressure off Brandon Cooks for this offense and to start running. And we got to be able to run the football and establish the run game as well, something we could not do last year.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see a lot more from him getting more starts. He got 11 career starts, 16 touchdowns, 10 picks. That's not bad. And you're saying it because this team's not that good, and he made the most out of a lesser talent. Yep. So it takes time, for a quarterback of that caliber. It's just a tough situation. That's like any other quarterback. Like, you look at Trevor Lawrence. He was throwing in a bad team with Jaguars, and they just weren't going to succeed. But you look at Davis Mills. Despite the stats and all that stuff, he isn't as bad. But hey, give a huge shout out to Ms. Bergame for putting the links of our channels and to you, Coach Donte, and definitely, yeah, like everybody else is agreeing. But hey, here's an interesting fact of what East Coast Gridiron said it best. Davis Mills threw a bunch of off-balance throws and has incredible arm talent. The second half of Stanford season in 2020 was incredible. So he did a lot of the film work of looking at this kid, and he said This kid's amazing. So he's got the guru. He digs deeper. And I've heard a lot of this stuff about this Davis Mills. Coming into the draft, he was an unknown commodity coming out of Stanford because nobody didn't know much about him. Even though I was a West Coast guy, I've heard of other quarterbacks, but Davis Mills was coming off the radar. He was coming off the radar because he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, like I said, to be honest, I didn't know too much about Davis Mills. The first person that told me that Davis Mills has the potential to be really, really good was JDW. JDW, he's a Colts fan, and my boy ECG collabed with him the last weekend. So he first one that made it be known that Davis Mills could be something good. So First half of the season, he went against Buffalo. He threw 4 interceptions, but Buffalo is a top 10 defensive team. And 2 of those interceptions that was tipped. So when you have 2 interceptions that's tipped, that's not the quarterback fault. That's just a great play by the defensive lineman putting their hands on the ball. You were taught if you're not going to get to the quarterback, just put your hands up, and that's what they exactly did. That was his worst game. That was by far his worst game of the season, that game right there, and that's a learning experience. And after that, he had a pretty good game against the Patriots. The very next week, he lit up the New England Patriots. He did lit up the Chargers for the first half. He kind of lit up the Rams. He started out 13 for 13 against the Rams until the Rams kind of a little bit poured on, but he's definitely got the arm talent. He's definitely more athletic than people think. He definitely can make all the throws, and he can make some throws into some tight windows that a lot of those rookie quarterbacks really cannot make, or some quarterbacks in the NFL. So his arm talent, when he's on, the guy has a tremendous arm. He has a tremendous arm talent, and I think he has the tools, but I just don't quite. I gotta see after this year for him to put it all together. And like I say, he's been having a great training camp. He did not have a great game against the Rams. He did not have a great game. He was okay. He did not have a great game. He's got to shake off the rust a little bit. So hopefully he can get some preseason reps against the San Francisco 49ers on Thursday. But we'll see where he go. But he definitely got the potential. And he definitely shows a lot of flashes. So I would love Davis Mills to be the franchise quarterback. And like I say, he's got very great arm talent. The dude is very good when he's on. The dude can light up a defense. If he's had time in the pocket, he can light up a defense.
I mean, there's something there with the kid. I mean, given the chance, he's looking like he's taking the most out of it. And the coaching staff seem very confident, but definitely like to give a shout out to Notorious GAV Bang Bang Captain Juice Gang. Nice. Kyle Juszczyk, man, that's my guy. Oh, I guess AK Eagles podcast is agreeing with you. Pierce is going to team up nicely with Bills and should allow him to be more consistent as a passer going forward. Pierce is a dog. So I guess I'm hearing buzz from what you're saying, this Pierce running back. Damian Pierce, you guys drafted last year, so he can be one of those breakout players. I'll give you a breakout player that you might want to hear about, and I'm pretty sure you're getting familiar with him. He starts with Javon Kinlaw.
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
The one that made Grant Cohen pay the price, but he kind of had a good preseason game against the Vikings. I think we got to watch out for that guy.
Yo, I like Javon Kinlaw from out of South Carolina, man. I actually like how he's one of the guys that I was kind of high on coming up out of that draft. I really like Kinlaw, bro.
Yeah, and I guess in some ways, John Jay agrees on what I was saying before. Davis Mills played at Stanford, but yeah, he did play at Stanford, but if he played more games, he would have been a second rounder or at least had some commodity out there because he only played very limited or he got injured. So it's like I've heard of his name, but it wasn't like a big name like Jared Goff name or other quarterbacks I've heard. I mean, I've heard of different quarterbacks in the state of California, but I just didn't hear much about Davis Mills except maybe one Stanford fan, like my boy Adrian, who's a Stanford Cardinals fan. He've heard of him, but it wasn't like he was a wow factor. But then the more you start seeing this kid's arm, it's unbelievable. So I guess you guys got yourself a diamond in the rough, like they say.
Yep. If he was in this draft this year, if Davis Mills didn't come out last year, if he was in this draft, he'll be a first round pick. He'll be you talking about if Davis Mills was in this draft this year, you're talking about a guy that can easily go in the first round. That may be the first quarterback off of the board. If you're talking about him this year, if he played this year, if he came out this year, you're talking about probably the best quarterback in this draft this year due to the quarterback class not being so good at all. And I don't think the quarterback class still doing is very good. You got Kenny Pickett showing some flashes of what he can be, but I still think he's going to be a backup this year. Matt Corral got hurt again, gets hurt. He's going to be out for the season. So right now, if he was to come out in this draft, you're talking about him as the best quarterback to be taken off the board in this draft.
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. I mean, okay, he was never injured, but how come he never played much? Like, I've seen limited game plays. Either he just missed time or something, because I looked at his stats at Stanford, and I don't think he played, like, a lot of games. Maybe we're looking at when I did a lot of my scouting on Mills, I seen some of his stats at points, but then when you looked at the way he played, it didn't seem like he played like the entire full seasons, if I'm mistaken.
Say who?
No, like Davis Mills. When I saw him play at Stanford, or when I've heard of him play at Stanford, I didn't see a lot of start experience.
Oh yeah, like I said, I didn't know much about him because I didn't watch too many Stanford games. I didn't look at too many Stanford games, so I didn't know much about him. But
okay, there you go.
The only reason I knew about him was JDW. That's the only reason I actually knew about him. And I had to see him on the field to watch him play, so for me to know a lot about him. So I'll say, hey man, he's got great talent, man. He's got great talent. He can do it put the right pieces around him. He can definitely do it. And I think, having 1,000-yard receiver every year and someone that's consistent, and Brandon Cooks, like I say, I just need Nico Collins to be Nico Collins. I need him to break out into that number 2 wide receiver. I'm still kind of up in the air on Nico Collins because he doesn't get a lot of separation. So everything Nico Collins has to catch, he has to catch it, basically contest it, because he doesn't get separation. But one thing he can do, he's getting better in route running, and he knows how to put his body in position where he can catch jump balls. And when he, can catch those quick outs and catch those quick stop routes, he put his body in a position because he's 6'5" and he's 220. So he get himself in that position. But I worry about his separation and his ability for cornerbacks sometimes to run routes for him. The quarterbacks will run the route for him at times, and sometimes he trips over his feet a lot. So for that receiving quarter workout, I need Nico Collins to be that best, the number 2, a good number 2 wide receiver. Now, he did a great job last year. He had 466 yards last year for a rookie. That's pretty solid. I'm okay with that. I'll take that from a rookie. Not every rookie going to come in the NFL and be like a Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. You don't need every rookie to be like that. But that was a pretty productive year. But I'm kind of got concerned about how Nico Collins plays and, his ability to get separation off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so Nico Collins was an intriguing pick because he was like a tall wide receiver from Michigan, and then you guys got him in the 3rd round, right?
Yeah, I think we got him late in the 3rd round, yep.
But then when you look at the Houston Texans, man, the only question mark with the Texans when you look at it as an outside looking in, man, is like, is this culture going to change coaches again? Because, Lovie Smith isn't the long-term answer. I'm not sure what's going on. There's just a lot of chaos going on in some ways, I figured that you guys are trying to build a foundation for the long haul, right? But Lovie Smith is a guy that will build you a good defensive culture, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, man. I like the way Lovie Smith coaches. I like the way he coaches this defense. I mean, last game, Saturday, 6 sacks in the first half. 6 sacks. And give credit to Nick Caserio, getting guys like Jerry Hughes to lead the locker room from the Buffalo Bills, who's been productive, who's a respectable locker room guy. You get Rasheem Green from Seattle, who's been a very good player in preseason, who's been killing it. He's going to make this team. We also got Damon Harris, who's been very solid. We got a lot of defensive line depth. We did drafted Thomas Booker, who's been really, really good. Out of Stanford. He's out of Stanford too. He's been really, really good. So we got some nice depth pieces on that defensive line. The secondary is really respectable. When you have Desmond King, Steven Nelson has been having a great training camp and a great preseason, and you got your 2 young guys in Jalen Petrie and Derek Stingley Jr., who are studs at the secondary position. And we also got Tremont Smith for a depth piece at the cornerback situation, and he can return punts and he can return kicks, and Trez Thomas out there as well. So I like the way Lovie Smith got this defense prepared. He's got this defense ready to play, and we also going to have Christian Harris, the linebacker that we drafted out of Alabama, to go along with that linebacking core. And I believe he's gonna be on the field starting at some point this season because of Christian Kirksey cannot stay healthy at all. So I believe he's gonna be a while before we take away that running back position. And Veruja Hill, nobody talks about him. That guy's had a great season. Veruja Hill is very good, smart tackler, can pass rush. I really like this defense, man. We got depth, and we got some very good defensive players. And Jonathan Green-Gennard, look out for number 52. Jonathan Green-Gennard, 8 sacks last year. If he wasn't hurt, he's double-digit sacks. Look out for Jonathan Green-Gennard, number 52. He's going to have a big season for us this year. And Roy Lopez and Nico. And you have Malik Collins in the middle as the D tackle.
Interesting, man. Like you just talked about this guy named Greenyard. I heard last year he was in the mix of sack leading because like in the midway in the season he was I think he had 6 sacks.
Yeah, Jonathan Green-Gennard. Yep.
And then he moved up a little, but then when he got hurt, like you said, he went down. But I think he finished the season, like you said, 8 sacks.
8 sacks. Yep.
So he finished so he's a building block for y'all defense. And then you guys got this guy named Roy Lopez that you guys drafted from Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Big guy, right?
Pretty good. Yep. He's a big guy, clog up the middle. And like I say, he's been very good and made the team last year, and he made the most of it last year and got a lot of pressure. And also we got Malik Collins as well. Malik Collins, who had a very good season last year. He had a lot of penalties. He has trouble with penalties, but he had a very good season. And I like the depth that we got on that defensive line.
That's good, man. At least you guys got some guys you can depend on. Breaking news, Matt Mioka wrote an article that Trey Sermon is on the bubble. That's not good news. Okay, speaking of all the players, man, the one player that needs to step up to me is Trey Sermon, but I think anybody who writes articles from whatever, sometimes it's accurate, and I take a word out of Matt Mioka. Matt Mioka, when he tells you something, it's got to be facts. But at this point, dude, I want the best player on the field. Sorry, Trey Sermon, you may represent Oklahoma. You may have been a damn good, solid back there, but, dude, you're not even translate. Don't be like another Jalen Hurd, okay? Another Jalen Hurd that can't even stay healthy. I don't want it to be another situation like this, but I like the problems we have at running back. What makes the Niners so good at that position is we have plethora of all positions of the running back, because if anybody gets hurt, they step in. It's like we can pick up a running back off the streets. You can even play running back and you can produce. I like that concept. But like I said, Trey Sermon is someone I was really high on coming out of Ohio State, but I didn't think he would be performing this bad for the San Francisco 49ers. And part of that has to do with his injury history too, not him being on the field. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact he doesn't fit our scheme also. So I'm looking at the way he plays. It doesn't fit his skill set. And the dumb part is we traded up 2 draft picks to get this kid. And you would hope this would pay off, right? We just traded to the Rams traded our 2 4th-round picks for the Rams to get this guy. And we would have thought maybe this guy would pay dividends, and that's not the case. You look at a lot of the running backs we got right now. We got this kid from LSU who's actually performing expectation a lot better than expected, as much as I hate to say it, but this Ty Davis Price is actually the real deal, man. This guy runs people over, and a lot of these LSU running backs, they have a blue chip on them shoulders, and they got something to prove. Like you got Leonard Fournette, who's actually a damn good running back from there. Then they got this running back from the Chiefs, Clyde Belair, whatever his name is.
Yep.
There's just a lot of good running backs from LSU, except for that one guy, Geis, that couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, there is Geis. Yeah, there is Geis. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
And then you look at the rest of the backs. Like you said, Elijah Mitchell, if we just limit the carries with him, he's going to be a really good running back because he just can't he's not the kind of running back that can take all the loads. We've tried to use him a lot, and that's what got him injured.
Yep. And also, like I said, I think Deebo Samuel in the NFC Championship kind of finally ran out of gas a little bit. Think it was probably more the Rams neutralizing him. And like I said, him not being at the receiver position kind of really hurt the 49ers a little bit. And the running back depth, it was either him or Elijah Mitchell in the NFC Championship or in that whole playoff spot. So again, man, I'm hoping, Deebo Samuel can go back to the actual position that he plays, wide receiver, to make that wide receiving core a little bit more tougher because when he was at running back, Pete guys were able to game plan to stop Ayuk and double team George Kittle, which is Deebo Samuel does help them being that wide receiver. So again, man, I'm very high on San Francisco, man. Like I said, again, I think I got them making the playoffs. I'm very high up on them, and if things break right, they can be right back in the NFC Championship again this year.
Yeah, especially with the talent we got. Like you just said it best. Oh, here's this one sleeper that I heard a lot of buzz going into this offseason. We got this kid named Jordan Mason, a running back. Yes, a running back that we just got undrafted. Yeah. Why even invest high on these draft picks if you can get one undrafted? Yeah. Man, what is it with these third-round pick running backs? They're just no good investment.
You get good value. That shows you, man. You don't gotta draft. Look, you don't gotta rush the draft in the first round. Draft. You can always wait. There's gonna always be a gem late in the draft. There's gonna always be a gem. But if it's a quarterback or wide receiver or what if it's a D tackle, you're gonna always find your gem. You're gonna find your best talent late in the draft. I'm telling you, you're gonna find your best talent late in the draft.
Without a doubt, man. Especially in the draft, we drafted a starting guard that I happened to interview months before the draft. I don't know if you ever heard of this kid, Spencer Burford. This kid is actually making a strong case for that starting job, and I'm getting a lot of appreciation from the Niners community. They're even giving me some shout outs for that interview, so it's like pretty tight.
Yep.
And then the only problem I have with the team is the center position. I think the guard spot's okay, just the center needs to be settled.
Yeah, I mean, we have problems with our offensive line as well. I mean, we got I keep forgetting this guy darn dude name, but he has not performed very good. He's not performed very good. John McCray, I think he's normally a center. We tried to move him to left guard. That's not kind of working. And Sharping is not the best. We just dropped offensive lineman called Delicious from LSU. He's coming along. I think he's going to make the roster, but I believe they're going to go with Matt Sharpen and McCray. But Kenyon Green, expect Kenyon Green to be starting when he's healthy. Kenyon Green's going to be starting when he's healthy. So, again, this is a big week. This is a big Thursday game for both teams, and especially for roster spots. This is a big game.
Yeah, especially this is a chance for them to final audition for this. And I agree with John Jay. Spencer Burford is a starter, and I said it after the draft. That even probably a day after the draft, I did say that don't be surprised if Spencer becomes a starter from day one. And a lot of people were disagreeing. They were thinking you don't know what you're talking about. Shanahan doesn't play rookies, and I said he'll make an exception. Trust me, he will. And some people started coming back to me and say, you know what you're talking about. And I told him, dude, it just takes a guy that knows it. When I've interviewed Spencer Burford, all I knew from there is he was a quick learner. Like if they ask him to play center, he'll work on it until he gets better at it. That's the way Spencer comes from. Like if they asked him to play guard, he's going to play guard. And he's been familiar with that position, so he knows how to play that position. That's a simple transition. You go from a tackle to guard, and he's already played it the first 2 years in college. So when I did all my scout on this kid, dude, I was so high on him that some of the Niners community started to look into him eventually, Yeah. And then I started to get him on the show, and everybody wanted to see what he was all about. But it took until after we drafted him that the videos of Spencer Burford started popping up the views like that, because eventually they wanted to know who he was. So that's what helped my channel grow a little bit.
Yep.
But when you look at the players, man, we got this one kid that I'm hoping can make the roster is Jason Poe, who I interviewed also. And this he has a strong overall grade as a backup guard. He did pretty well. So I'm hoping maybe they can push him at center. He can play center also. He can move. Yep. He's fast. Like this guy, he may be 6'1" and 300 pounds, but this guy runs a 4.89.
Damn. That's pretty fast, man. That's pretty fast. I got one guy that I really hope he make the roster, but he's injured. He's injured right now. He's not playing Thursday, and I really think that's going to kind of limit his time to make this team. I don't know if he's going to limit his time to make this team, but Double O, number 45 for the Houston Texans, the guy has been nothing but sensational and disruptive, and I hope he really find a way to make this team, and I'll say we could keep up to 6 defensive linemen We can keep up. It's already rumored that we're gonna keep 6 defensive linemen and probably 4 D tackles. 4 D tackles coming up. So I mean that shows you how much depth that we really actually got. And Nick Caserio went out and got for this team, and they all will fit well in Lovie Smith type of scheme that Lovie Smith wants to run.
For sure, man. That's what you want to see. You want to get the best players that can step in, and if you really are very high on this guy, then he might have a good chance. But yeah. Oh, here's a Dolphins fan. Hey, how are you? Well, you got Coach Donte. Hey, he's a big fan of yours. The GOAT of YouTube. Congrats. Ask him 100 questions about the Texans. He knows. Hey, you're the smart guy. You know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So I see that you do a lot of other shows besides the Spotlight Sports Network, but you do the Gridiron also, right? The other guy that was on the comments. Yeah. So what do you guys usually do?
We finna start doing college. We finna start doing college football Saturdays. Unfortunately, I won't be doing the football Saturday show because I got football games myself for my team, my Little League squad. So college shows, NFL shows. We do NFL podcasts and stuff like that. We basically NFL and a college podcast. He's talking about putting some UFC, I believe, on it as well. UFC on it as well. But again, we do college, NFL shows and podcasts and stuff like that. And we just break down the games and players and, the biggest news that come out.
That's good, man. That's a way to build up your channel with mostly just doing if you scout college players, you can get towards those people. And that's how I started working my way up is I'm just a draft fanatic also. So when I do the draft, I've always tried to go deeper on these players. Like sometimes the people that hype these players, I'm always looking for that one player that nobody's even talking about. Yeah. And I'm going deeper. So when people were talking about Cole Strange, they got that guy overhyped a little bit and the Patriots took him. Yeah. So when you figure, who's the next guy that people ain't talking about, but he can be versatile? So a lot of people were asking me, hey, CG, do a little research. Find us a sleeper at offensive line. And then when I went towards the search and looked into it, I watched a couple of those films from the Senior Bowl from a guy named Prospect who did the clips of it. I watched Spencer Burford's video, and I just said, dude, I'm sold. That's my guy. Yeah. That's who I want. And I said, hey, if we can't get Marquise Hayes or those other guys, give me Spencer Burford any day of the week.
Yep. And also the Cowboys getting Tyler Smith. I think Tyler Smith is going to take some time for the Cowboys as well. Yes, he get penalized a lot, but Tyler Smith is going to be a huge addition for that Cowboys team.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But yeah, dude, that's the point, like these developments. But like you said, Tyler Smith from what the Cowboys drafted, my boy, Boys for Life, wasn't liking the pick, but he says the only problem with the pick was the penalties. So how do you improve your offensive line? You go from the most penalties last year and you draft the guy with the most penalties, right? Yep. I don't get it, but we'll see. Maybe he might pan out. We'll
technically, he wanted the guy that we picked, Kenyon Green. He wanted Kenyon Green. He wanted Kenyon.
That's the guard from Texas A&M, right?
Yep. That's what he told me he wanted. He wanted the guy Kenyon Green, but unfortunately, we traded back with the Philadelphia Eagles to get Kenyon Green. He's gonna be expected to start for the Houston Texans.
Well, he should be. You draft him first round, he should be a day one starter. There's no way he should be sitting on the bench. You draft this guy first round, so come on.
Yep.
Yeah, huge shout out to 49ers Media. Awesome content creator. They do their own. He does his own little podcast called the First Take 9 or something with a fellow content creator. That good show with those guys and all that stuff. There's a lot of up and coming Niners content creators like this guy right here and my boy John Jay, of course. But we got this kid that used to be called Cardcast, but he calls himself Cart Kingdom. Awesome content creator also. Okay, John Jay, appreciate you stopping by with your support, man. It is nice to have a lot of people in the building, man. 10 or 11 people at once, but it's nice. Especially a lot of people that I'm not even familiar with, but I know Grandizer. I've seen him around. He's a Dolphins fan. I've seen him on Pales and quite a few other content creators, including yourself. Roberto, I think that's Roberto's account, but he's a good dude. Let's see. First time I've actually seen Gridiron, which I'm pretty sure that you guys are very familiar with him. I've heard of his name, but I didn't hear too much about him like most people did. But he seems to know the stuff, so I'll definitely look at some guys with college stuff. Since he does college stuff, maybe I'll consider to work with him a little bit on the off season with him.
Yep.
Because I like doing a little bit of college scout here and there.
Yeah, I do my scouting. I do my scouting pretty much as well when the season is over. Pretty much when the NFL season is over, I pretty much get my scouting down on these college players.
Yeah, I look very deep on them. So when the draft starts, I try to look as much deep as I can. Sometimes when they clip these videos, you want to get an idea of who's going to be good and who's not,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there was a lot of questions with this prospect that I was very high on. They were just questioning his weight and the way his strength is, but he plays a lot stronger than what his weight is.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm excited that we got this guy. Like when I found out we drafted him in the 4th round, I guess Berg gained on one of those little groups with what's that dude, that Troxy, that one dude, that Lions fan guy. We were on his stream, and I guess when I found out about the draft, I was like, "Holy crap, we got him! No way!" Because when I looked at the mock drafts, dude, they had him ranked as a 6th and 7th round pick, which was stupid. I thought, hey, don't be surprised if he moves up draft boards.
Yep.
Man, I don't know how these mock drafts experts know what they're talking about.
Hey man, some of the mock drafts be way off too, man. Some of the mock drafts be way off.
Oh yeah, shout out to this Panthers fan CPG. Yeah, I've heard of it. Like I've heard Kenyon Drake got released by the Raiders, man.
Yep.
I don't know. Raiders I think they actually signed another running back before, and I think they really like him better than Drake.
Yep. I think
that running back they drafted from Georgia, they're very high on.
Zamir White. Yep. Zamir White. Yep.
Yeah, he better make the squad for sure. Oh yeah, Troxel. There you go. I remember that one stream where you guys were like giving me those reactions. It was like Troxel's cool. I might need to get him on at some point, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so when you look into it, man, so when you look at a player, who has to prove it to make this roster at this point? Like if you had to name one player that needs to step up to make a case for that roster spot.
It's gonna have to be Ross Blacklock. We drafted Ross Blacklock a couple of years back. I mean, he just cannot cut it at this level. Not with the Houston Texans. He has not worked out. He has plenty of opportunities. I think Ross Blacklock needs to step up. I think he needs a big game in this preseason game. But you got a lot of guys that's out there on the defensive line is really, really stepping up really, really good. And I think Ross Blacklock, the defensive end out of TCU, I think his time is winding down. I really do think his time is winding down. And Chester Rogers that we just picked up, he's on the IR, so he may not be so good. Philip Dorsett that we got a number 3 wide receiver. He may take that number 3 wide receiver slot job right there. I've been very impressed with him in his training camp. We got him throughout the middle of the season. So I'm gonna basically go with Chester Rogers and Ross Blacklock. Them the 2 guys that really need to step up and have a big showing for this preseason game. So I believe those 2 times winding down.
Yeah, that's those are the ones that need to step up. So I'll definitely give you at least 3 players of mine that need to step up. Justin School, you got to step up, dudes. You're crap. You're not blocking good. You're getting beat. Like, seriously, Justin School, that's the problem. Okay, Trey Sermon, out of all the running backs, dude, I've defended you, and you're not even the best running back on the damn team. You're the worst. You're the worst. And I don't want to say it, but man, the truth hurts. And as far as like the one player that needs to make a case for this roster, man, I don't know. Can it get to the point where we get rid of Donte Johnson so I can pop a champagne? I want to pop a champagne. Can we get rid of Johnson for good? No more returning, please. Just let him go. Let him go.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got to step up. So those are pretty much my 3 players that do need to step up as far as like player-wise. Yeah, it's like, man, dude.
Yep. And like I say, Ross Blacklock just hasn't cut it for us. So I can see him out being on the bubble. I can see him being on the bubble. Double O is injured. Double O is injured as well. And the guy that I've been really high on, who's been really having a great camp in preseason, I think his time is close to winding down because of the injury that he just suffered. Like I said, I think we're gonna only keep 6 defensive ends. We have a chance to keep more defensive ends than keep defensive tackles. That's how deep our defensive end much is. But you got some guys that's on defensive end can play defensive tackle as well also. So you got some of that versatility on the defensive side of the ball. Kevin Barlow, the second-year player out of TCU, he was showing flashes in training camp, but he's hurt. He's hurt right now, so he may be on the bubble a little bit. On the outside looking in, because I really think they're more higher on Christian Harris, who has a hamstring injury as well. But I think he's going to make the roster. I don't think it's going to even matter. I think he's going to make the roster. But yeah, man, I think, like I said, Kevin Barlow also is on a verge of getting canned. And we got Royce Freeman as a running back. He's on the verge of getting canned as well. I don't think it's going to. I think Race Burkhead, I think we probably may keep 4 running backs. I think it will be probably Derek Gubawale, who had a great game against the Los Angeles Rams. Race Burkhead, you're going to have Marlon Mack. He's going to make this roster. And Dameon Pierce, who didn't play Thursday, he's going to also make the roster. At best, he's going to be number 2. Dameon Pierce may be number 2 over Marlon Mack, or I wouldn't be surprised if he be number 1. I thought he done really good enough to be number 1 over Marlon Mack, but we'll find out after Thursday. But it's a lot of jobs on the line on Thursday. And we also got a lot of questions at the tight end position, who's going to be the first tight end position as well. Tegan Quintero has been caught his first touchdown versus the Rams. I think he's pretty much safe. I think he's safe. Farrell Brown is hurt right now, but I think he's going to be fine, good to go. And Brevin Jordan, the tight end that we had last year that showed flashes, I think I got a case for him to be number 1, but I think he's going to end up being a backup behind Farrell Brown.
Oh, okay. Intriguing. You got Farrell Brown as the tight end you guys got, and then you got Brevin Jordan, who I thought was like an interesting prospect of previous year. Yep. The guy is very athletic, comes from Miami. And then you look at the rest of the guys. When you look at the team in general, man, it's going to be tough for us to make a decision on those defensive line. Like the defensive line, we got some talent. Like straight up, like you got Jordan Willis, who actually became solid with us, and he's a good special teamers also. That's going to be tough to even let him go because he's not that bad of a player. You look at Komodo Toure coming from the Colts. He might have something to prove, and he's coming with a prove-it deal. That would be tough. And then you got Kerry Hyder, who's familiar with our system. He knows our defense. You got this Samson Ebicom, Drake Jackson. Dude, I can go on with the depth pieces, man. Dude, some of them can even play the D tackle spot too, especially Eric Armstead. He can do, but I just would keep Armstead away from the end spot. He's not that fast.
Yeah.
So as far as all that, man, definitely looking forward to this game. I'm definitely excited for Thursday, man. So Coach Donte, man, just tell the rest of everybody else before we end this on a high note and tell them where they can find you and tell them what you do on a weekly basis on your show, man.
All right. I mean, y'all can find me at Coach Donte on YouTube. Just search up Coach Donte. Y'all will instantly find me. I'm 7 subscribers away for 4.5K. I do WNBA play-by-play, NFL play-by-play, preseason play-by-play, NBA play-by-play, you name it. I also do podcast shows as well with my Spotlight Sports Network, and I'm also a part of East Coast Gridiron Nation as well. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at Coach Donte. Y'all can follow Coach Donte 31. Y'all can also find me on Instagram at Coach Donte 31.
All right, man. That's good, man. Definitely looking forward to the near future, man. You're awesome, and hopefully you reach your goals, man. I'm trying to reach the 4K also, but it's just you're already out there, man. So I got to get to that 4K club a little bit, man. But I'm getting close to that 3.5K, so I'm getting there.
You're getting up fast and slowly, man.
Fast and slowly. Sometimes business gets quiet, but yeah, thank you, man. But as always, CG Ruthless Sports and Coach Donte is out, and I'll catch y'all later on.
Peace out, y'all.